All right guys, Brigitte with San Diego Seed Company, and today I want to talk to you about compost. Compost is essential to our farm. When we moved into our farm, the soil was terrible. After years and years and years of making and using compost, the soil's really starting to look amazing. Now, I always get this question, well, how should I compost? It depends on your particular situation. How much room you have, are you in a tiny little duplex, or do you have property? All of those things will help dictate how you compost. But what I want to show you here is 3 different ways that we compost. It's really simple and really doesn't take a lot of work and takes almost zero money, okay? That's what's important. Compost should be cheap and easy. So compost number 1 here. All this is some recycled lumber that we put in a square, screwed them together, and we toss our goodies here. Now, what's nice about this is it's really easy. If you have a lot of area, you can just toss everything, let the sun bake it in. We water it so that it can break down. What's not so great about this is if you have a really small garden, maybe you don't want to take up this much space with something like this. Totally understandable. But this is a very easy, cheap way. It doesn't have to be super intensive. This is what we call a passive compost pile. In Kansas, this is what we would do. We would let the rain fall on it, the snow fall on it. That helped break it down. It's a very simple way. It doesn't break down as quickly, but it does work really well, and it's easy to move things. That's the other thing that's really nice. I can get in here with a pitchfork and I can move things around very easily. Whereas, I'll show you another option here. You've got something like this, which actually broke on us. So this is a nice compost bin if you're in a really tight space. We actually got this when we were in a tiny apartment across town, and this is how we started composting. It's really good if you don't create a lot of biomass and you need it to be contained. Maybe you have neighbors who aren't really gonna like the smell of compost. Not that it should be that stinky, but this is a nice way to do it in a townhouse or somewhere really small. Maybe you're renting. But here's the thing that's funny about these guys. First of all, they're made out of plastic. So, you're buying a big hunk of plastic, which isn't great. And then also, they're really not that durable. You can see here, it broke on us. Now, this was after years of using it. We filled it up a little too much. So now I gotta figure out how to get all this beautiful compost out of this broken composter, but that's a problem for another day. Let's check out one other type of compost system that I've got here. Here's another system, also very similar to our wooden pieces. This is just pallets. A lot of times you can get free pallets from different places. We have tons of pallets on the farm when we get merchandise that comes in. And we just recycle them, and we're using them to hold this together. Now, the reason why we have 2 systems like this that are very similar is so that we can actually move product from one to the other. We have one that is like stage 1, and we put all of our big rough chopped stuff in there. And then as it breaks down, the bottom's gonna be a lot nicer compost. We'll move it over here to finish. You can tell with this compost that you can't really tell that there's a lot of matter in it. Whereas if you look at our other compost, you can tell there's still huge amounts of plant matter, cardboard, all kinds of different stuff. So this one's almost finished, whereas this compost is gonna take quite a bit longer. The point of this video, guys, is just to show you that there's a lot of different ways that you can compost, and all you wanna do is get something in a container where it can break down. I know individuals that use trash cans. There's all kinds of different ways you can do it, but you just want to keep this amazing stuff out of the landfill, let it break down, and put it back into your garden. That is what's important when you're composting.